My brother Piers, my fellow panelists, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I will try and work within the established timelines. First of all is to appreciate everyone for finding time to be part of this high-level dialogue on resilience, fragility, and displacement in the borderlands of the Horn of Africa. And my brother, the Executive Secretary in charge of IGAD, when we had time settling in, was able to welcome me to this high-level panel discussion. And part of why that is significant is the fact that we are one people. And IGAD is operating from Nairobi, and it goes to speak to the level of collaboration that countries can have and the impact that countries can make when they work together. And just for purposes of noting, of course, IGAD has Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, and Uganda, of course, Kenya being among the 8 member states. Now, the climate resilience in the Horn of Africa is critical for stability, prosperity, and growth. Its borderlands face unique challenges, just like has been highlighted by previous speakers. And these challenges are exacerbated by the climate shocks, which impact on resilience of communities. And this creates a lot of fragility and triggers displacement. And it's also critical to note that my brother, the governor of Wajir, is also here. And coming from counties on the northern part of this country, along the border with Somalia as well as Ethiopia, to an extent, our fellow countrymen who live along the borderlines have also taken more than everybody else. When you talk about refugees, we have camps that have hosted refugees for in excess or close to 40 years. And this largely we can be able to attribute to the effect of climate change, amongst other challenges on security within the region. The Horn of Africa borderlands and the people who inhabit them are not necessarily defined by political borders. And while individual countries may have their own priorities and programs, the communities that inhabit borderlands face common challenges. Whether you're talking about scarcity of water, degraded pasture, of course, and insecurity. Now, these factors, as well as the common vulnerabilities to shocks and conflicts, cannot be tackled through national programs alone. And there is need for cross-border collaboration, coordinated interventions, and shared entry points. Within the IGAD framework, there are a number of programs that we are running to try to address some of this. And again, working with the international partners. My friend from the UK has spoken to the Borderlands program that we recently launched a few months ago, just to try and address the challenges across, at least for the 3 countries, that is Kenya, Ethiopia, and Somalia. And the people in these 3 countries are basically one people, same culture, with similar habits, and it makes much more sense and impact to have a program that looks at several countries put together. Now, this demonstrates that there is a lot of opportunity in terms of cooperation as a region. And part of that opportunity is to create or promote investment in climate resilience, stability, and economic development in these areas. Looking at what we are discussing this afternoon, I think part of the focus or the messaging that we need to try and look into is ability to identify some of the specific risks related to climate change. Of course, there are underlying issues on insecurity and marginalization, as well as lack of development. As a country, and I think as a region, we have just come from one of the longest dry season. I think something that we've never seen for over 40 years. And that meant that a majority of our people lost their livelihoods, and there is need to quickly address that. But as we address that, then we also need to be able to anticipate what is it that we've learned over the years that can help us improve on such situations, so that when we face the real effects of climate change, like we continue to do, then we don't lose a critical mass of our populace to those effects. Now, I've spoken to the need for regional response to manage these risks, of course, working together with the international partners. And lastly, is that it is now no secret that the international financial architecture, including climate finance, is not yet targeting the Horn of Africa region. And we have an opportunity to make a difference in that space.